7 History. Good morning, children. Unit 2 The Mughal Empire. Last class we have saw only the 6 strong rulers Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. Babur was the founder of the Mughal Empire in India. Okay, the term Mughal can be traced to Babur's ancestors. In the first battle of Panipat in 1526. Now moving on, the Mughal Empire administration. First let us see Akbar's administration. Administration of Akbar. Commercial access to Arabia, Southeast Asia and China. Military campaign in the northwest. Akbar's religious policy. Contributions to culture. These are the things learned one by one. First let us see commercial access to Arabia, Southeast Asia and China. Akbar's conquest of Gujarat helped him to establish control over Gujarat's overseas trade with the Arabs and the Europeans. Akbar's military campaign in the East Bengal and Odisha and victory over Bengal facilitated access to Southeast Asia and China. Next let us see military campaign in the northwest 1585 to 605. Among other conquests of Akbar, the important were the campaign he launched in the northwest of India. Akbar added Kandahar, Kashmir and Kabul to the Mughal Empire, and also in the Battle of Deccan led to the and also added of Berar, Kandagash and the parts of Ahmednagar. Under Akbar, the Mughal Empire extended from Kashmir in the north to Godavari in the south and from Kandahar in the west and Bengal in the east. Akbar died in 1605 and his mortal remains were buried at Sikandra near Agra. Next let us see Akbar's religious policy. Akbar treated all religious groups fairly with generosity of spirit. He abolished the jizya tax on non-Muslims and the tax on Hindu pilgrims. He also married a girl of a notable Rajput family. Later he married off his son to a Rajput girl. The Sufi Saint Salim Sisti and the Sikh Guru Ramdas received Akbar's utmost respect and regard. Guru Ramdas was gifted a plot of land in Amritsar. Ibak-Tana, a hall in the new Fatehpur Sikri city constructed by Akbar. All scholar religious met for a discuss. Akbar's contributions to culture. Akbar was a great patron of learning. His personal library had more than 4,000 manuscripts. He patronized scholars of all beliefs and all shades of opinions. He expanded the authors such as Abul Fazil, Abul Fiasi, Abdur Rahim Khan, the great storyteller Birbal, officials, ministers Raja Todarmal, Raja Bhagavantas and Raja Mansingh, the great composer and the musician Tansen, the artist Daswant, the 9 jewels adorn Akbar's court. 9 jewels Abdul Fazil, Abul Fiazi, Abdur Rahim Khan, storyteller Birbal, ministers Raja Todarmal, official ministers Raja Todarmal, Raja Bhagavantas, Raja Mansingh, the great composer and musician Tansen and the artist Dashwant adorn the Akbar's court. Okay. Next let us see the Mughal administration. Central administration. The Mughals provided a stable administration in larger parts of India. The emperor was a supreme head of the Mughal administrative system. He was the lawmaker and chief executive. The most important officials were the Vakil, Prime Minister, Bajir, Dawan, in charge of revenue and expenditure. Mir Boxi was in charge of army. Mir Saman looked after the royal household. Qaji, chief judge. Sardar Sudur was the minister of enforcing Islamic law, Zaria. Okay. Next, let us see the provisional administration. Provision were divided to subgroup in order to administrative properly. What are the subgroup? Now we are have. How we are have the state India inside state and union territories. Inside the state we have district. Inside the district we have local bodies. Okay. Municipalities. In the same way, the Mughal Empire administration, provisional administration. The empire was divided into several subas. The suba were under the control of an officer called Subetar. The subas were further divided into district called sarkars. Subas were further divided into called sarkars. The sarkars were subdivided into Parganas, a group of village called Pargana. Okay. Next, let us see local administration. The towns and cities were administered by Kotawals. The Kotawals maintained law and order. The administration of villages was left in the hands of local panchayat. Next, let us see army. The Mughal army comprised infantry, cavalry, war elephants and artillery. The emperor maintained a large number of trained and as well as well-armed bodyguards and palace guards. The Mughal army included infantry, cavalry, war elephants and artillery and also the well-armed bodyguards and palace guards. Okay. Next one, Mansabdari system. Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system. Who introduced the Mansabdari system? Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system. According to this system, the nobles, the nobles, civil and military officials, these three were combined to form one single service. Everyone in the service were given a Mansab. Mansab means the position or rank, first hold rank, second rank likewise. A Mansabdar was a holder of such rank. Mansabdar rank was dependent on Zat and Zawar. Zat means one's status. Shat means one's status. Zawar was the number of horses and horsemen he had to maintain. His salary was fixed on the basis of the number of soldiers each Mansabdar received, ranging from 10 to 10,000. The Mansabdars were paid high salary to the emperor. Before receiving the salary, a Mansabdar had to present his horsemen for inspection. Their horses were branded to prevent theft. The emperor could use the troops maintained by a Mansabdar whenever he wished. The rank of Mansabdar was not hereditary during the Akbar's time. After him it became hereditary. Okay. Land revenue administration. Land revenue administration was toned up during the reign of Akbar. Raja Todarmal, revenue minister of Akbar. Who is the revenue minister of Akbar? Raja Todarmal. Adopted and refined the new system introduced by Sher Shah. Todarmal's sub-system was put in the place in the north and northwestern provinces. According to this system, after survey of lands were classified according to the nature and fertility of the soil. The share of the state was fixed at 1/3 of the average produce for 10 years. During the region of Shahjahan, the Sapt or Sapti system was extended to the Deccan provinces. During the region of Shahjahan, the Sapt system extended to the Deccan provinces. North side also. The Mughal emperors enforced the old Iqta system, remaining it Jagir. It is a land tenure system developed during the period of Delhi Sultan. Under the system, the collection of the revenue of an area and the power of governing, it was in the Zamindaris. Those appointed to collect the revenue from landholders were called Zamindars. Zamindars collected taxes and maintained law and order with the help of Mughal officials and soldiers. The local chieftains, little kings, were also called Zamindars. Akbar's religious policy, the Mughal religious policy. The Mughal emperors were the followers of Islam. Akbar was a very liberal in his religious policy. In Akbar's court, the Portuguese missionaries were great favorite. Akbar tried to include the good principles in all religions and formulated them into one single faith called Deen Ilahi. Akbar's religious policy called Deen Ilahi. Jahangir and Shahjahan also followed the policy of Akbar. Aurangzeb rejected the liberal views of his ancestors. As we pointed out earlier, he reimposed the jizya and pilgrim tax on the Hindus. Art and architecture. Babur introduced the Persian style of architecture in India. Who introduced Persian style of architecture in India? Babur only. At Agra and Pena, Tolpur, Gwalior, but only a few of them exist today. Humayun's palace in Delhi, Tinipa, was probably destroyed by Sher Shah Suri. The Divanikas, Divanaim, Panch Mahal, Rank Mahal, Salim Sisti's tomb were built during Akbar's time. Jahangir completed Akbar's tomb at Sikandra and the beautiful building containing the tomb. Shahjahan's time, the famous peacock throne covered with expensive jewels was made for the emperor to sit on. Then rose the world famous Taj Mahal by the side of the Jamuna river at Agra. The Pearl Mosque of Agra, the great Jamma Masjid of Delhi, and Divanikas, Divanium in the English palace in Delhi. Red Fort. Red Fort is nothing but the palace of Mughal Empire. During Aurangzeb's region, architecture did not receive much patronage. Okay, let us summary. Recap. Babur founded the Mughal Empire in 1526 after defeating Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of First Panipat, year 1526. After that, Humayun's and Sher Shah's victory over him, the Battle of Kannauj, Sher Shah's efficient land revenue administration and the introduction of coin system, standardized weights and measures. Humayun of the Mughal Empire and his ultimately death, leading to the accession of his son Akbar with the Bairam Khan as the regent, and defeating him in second Panipat 1556, the great general of Sur dynasty. The second Panipat 1556. Akbar's military conquest as well as religious policy. Akbar followed Deen Ilahi, religious policy. Jahangir's disinterest in the state governance, leading to the dominance of his wife Noor Jahan in the Mughal court. Shahjahan extending Mughal rule in the Deccan and the resultant conflict with the Marathas were Aurangzeb's conquest helped to expand the Mughal Empire, but his policies against Rajput, Marathas and Sikhs Mughal administration headed by the emperor. And further the provisional administration by Subhas Sarkar Bargana. Vakil is the prime minister. Wazir in charge of revenue and expenditure minister. Mir Boxi in charge of army. Mir Zaman looked after the royal household. Qaji the judge. Local administration by Kotawals maintained the law and order. Military. The Mughal army included infantry, cavalry, war elephants, artillery, and also maintained well-armed bodyguards and palace guards. Mansabdari system introduced by Akbar. Land revenue system, Raja Todarmal, revenue minister of Akbar. Okay children, let us go through the textbook. Learn well. Thank you.